Okay, we will call the meeting, the Public Works Standing Committee meeting of Tuesday, August 12th, 2025 to order. Approve the July 22nd, 2025 meeting minutes.
I move to approve.
Or second.
Okay. And did you changed it so
Yeah.
that it didn't say that I was actually there because
Yes,
I wasn't?
I kept your name in it and then right next to it, I put.
Okay. All those in favor?
I,
Okay. Public Works update from the Public Works Director.
Everybody should have a printout,
Yeah.
I kind of went back from the old one and updated it. The thing with stormwater was, as everyone's probably aware, we had a pretty good rain event here a couple weeks ago.
mhm.
Pray for like an
Was
hour.
very, good at illustrating where our weaknesses are in terms of managing stormwater. We had a lot of stormwater in the sewer system,
So it's still coming in?
oh yeah.
Wow.
And, we're looking at that pretty hard. We were able to get out there during the event and kind of, and to a degree, chase down where some of it, a lot of it's coming in on, up in this part of town. There were some kind of heavy flows into the lift station on 212. We're still trying to go back and look at data and figure that out because there is a line that comes down from the dollar store to that. And that could have been picking it up, but meet with Great West, next week. We're gonna kind of go through everything and make sure that whatever we did learn gets incorporated into the new PER so that it can be addressed in phase 4 of stormwater, I think it will be.
Okay.
Wastewater, everybody knows we got the, well, I'll go through, I guess, a little bit. It's not on here, but, as far as budget stuff, we have stormwater budget, done. It's pretty broad brush, so we have some latitude, to deal with things as they come up. So that budget's pretty straightforward. Wastewater, as everybody knows, the contract for phase 1 and 2A is awarded. Contractor, one of the contractors came to subcontractor came to town, during the car show, I think it was, and we measured manholes, and, they're getting all the liners made and, delivered. Work's gonna start on that in September. I think everybody knew, I just updated the report. We got our $625,000 grant, and it's that time of year we've had several, probably 2 a week, service line replacements or, installations, so I've been busy with that. Wastewater budget is complete for proposed budget. I don't think there's nothing big change there. Water, we started the 60-inch bypass project officially, yesterday. Most of the crews have been mobilizing equipment today. They're laying out alignment, and they started milling where the pipe's gonna go in the road on White, so if you drive up there, you'll see that. It's not unusual. We had a few things that, came up that we're gonna have to shift the alignment just a little bit, 2 feet for a short section to, when we originally did the locates for all the utilities, and this, I'm learning, happens in Red Lodge, they missed a lot of the phone lines, so then they didn't make it onto the plans because they weren't surveyed in, when we were doing design. So we have a few more, like 15 more phone lines to deal with than we planned on, so, but that's just part of it, that's normal.
It's always fun when you hit those with the excavator.
No plan goes forward without changing, so. Finishing up the survey work for the 2026 project. Public Works, we're currently working on a pretty significant project up on Silver Circle. There was 3 townhouses built up there in the late, let's see, late 80s, early 90s, that were spread out. They were all put in, with a pretty poor water system that in today's standards wouldn't even be allowed. It's been a problem ongoing for years with leaks, ongoing leaks, and just inability to really fix it, so we're just redoing the whole thing in conjunction with the owners. They're redoing their sides, we're redoing all of our sides, so we've been up there for 2 weeks. I expect we'll be there, we'll finish the end of next week, with that work. We've had, again, time of year, a lot of service line replacements, new installations to work on. And there was a new 8-inch water main that was installed as part of the townhomes being built between Grant and Adams down by Circle 17. Last summer, fall, that main went in, but it was not tied into Grant Street. We completed that work last week. That was good to get that done while the groundwater is relatively low. Water budget's I expect no changes in that moving forward, from what's proposed. Streets, EDA street project is currently out for bid. We're gonna open bids on Thursday, August 14th. We'll know more about how that project's gonna proceed in timing, after the bid opening, and I think tonight during the discussion part, Brandon Duffy from Great West is gonna zoom in and just give you guys an overall kind of informational timeline of what we're thinking about in terms of, you know, award, project, notice to proceed, that sort of stuff. Timelines that would be important for the council to be aware of.
Mike, may I just add 2 cents to that? We have one of those blank template award letters in tonight, and the idea is that we can take action on it in 2 weeks. If it's a timeline that says we can get going this year, but only if you can get this approved right away. So that's what he'll be on for, and that's below the fold tonight.
The other last thing is we've just been doing a few little street projects. We had one section we demoed, paved it on and repaved. We're hoping to do the same thing on a section of Grant. Mayor and I had a discussion the other day, and we talked about some potential street projects, and this would be the one place where we might still have some budget proposals out there, just in terms of perhaps for resort tax. The street between Grant and 14th to be like $40,000 to $45,000 to complete. It needs it for multiple reasons. One, the pavement's gone. It's got terrible drainage. It's all cross sloped, and it's up there on the hill where it literally cross slopes into people's houses. So I don't think we're gonna fix that, but we could make it better with this little project. So that's a potential change in what's proposed in budgeting.
Mike, I didn't see your repainting of the crosswalks and stuff in schools on there.
Oh,
That's significant.
yeah,
We gotta throw that on.
we're doing that, yeah. We're gonna start, it's an annual thing, right before school, we paint all the sidewalks, or crosswalks, excuse me. So that'll start possibly tomorrow. There's a lot of things that don't get put on here.
I just
Your
thought that one
day-to-day
was
operation.
important enough that we oughta.
Just keep a little, journal of everything you do every day.
The FEMA Stream Bank project, we have one item left on the punch list for the contractor to do. He's aware of that, and I believe sometime in the next couple of weeks, he will get to it, and then that project will be done. And
Is that the bank by the park down by the power plant?
no, there's some spoils that were left by Nick Campbell's house that need to come out. So that'll happen, and then that project will be done, and like I think I've said before, they did an excellent job. The project came out good. Parks, I don't know if we talked about Arbor Day last time I was here or not.
Yes, you did.
We had a good
With
Arbor
the
Day.
pruning presentation.
The tree removal project is behind schedule, and we're just kind of waiting on, Red Lodge Tree Services schedule, because, we we're low on their totem pole. They've got some of them out, they're just kind of doing them a little at a time. Hopefully we'll get that back on track. The pump track, maintenance project is, I would say 98% complete. It came out great, those guys did a good job.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of compliments.
Public Works helped.
Great.
Yeah, we had a role in that too, but they did a very good job. I'm hoping that, we're gonna do a little bit of cleanup, and not so much with the pump track, but some of the area around there, filling some holes, and then probably, I'm gonna talk to a hydro seeder, but I feel like if we could get a hydro seeded later, like right before winter, that might be best, and get it all seeded so that hopefully next spring we have grass. The pickleball, tennis and pickleball maintenance project is like same 99% complete. Anybody hasn't been by, look at the courts, they look awesome.
So can you play tennis on the pickleballs that were put in there?
It looks
And
like
vice
there's
versa?
There's
two
one dedicated tennis court,
Okay.
one dedicated pickleball court, and one that you can do both on.
Okay, because I was just looking at those pictures on Facebook trying to figure it out. I
And,
was like,
and
okay.
honestly, you can play tennis on the pickleball courts, because all the posts are removable.
Mhm.
It would
Okay.
just require temporary striping.
They have a net on it, so you don't have the competition outside lines without temporary striping. And your field is not gonna be a solid color, there's gonna be multiple colors in it.
Okay.
Looks
I
pretty sharp.
was surprised how, some of the areas we did some work on, I was like, well, it's better than it was, but it's not that great, but like where the big hole was, came out really smooth. We used the sidewalk grinders on it some, but also when the company came in to recode it, I think they did some great job of filling in some areas. It looks good.
Mhm.
We have a busted sprinkler head right by the entrance that we need to fix, and, I think I'm gonna bring some gravel in on that west entrance just 'cause it's just kind of a mess there and a track on the court. I think gravel might be better. Pool, we've lost a lot of staff, or we are losing a lot of staff after this week for sports. Be down to a skeleton crew. We are gonna stay open until August 30th. It'll be a little bit less hours roughly. We're gonna be open, I think, don't quote me exactly on this, I have it somewhere 7:30 to 9:30 or so for lap swim and aerobics, and then open like 11:45 to 4 for open swim. There's been Corey, who works at the pool, is really pushing hard that we stay open for a couple weeks into September. We're gonna be down to like 3 lifeguards at that point, and that's counting her and Aubrey. I don't feel like it's, and we're
We
also
could
gonna
have-
be down in the 40s at night.
I know, I was gonna say, we could have
I think
2 feet of
it's-
snow on the
I
ground by
think
then.
If we make it to my personal thoughts and what I'm gonna run with, unless somebody tells me I've got this wrong, is the 30th is good.
And I think the primary concern, and I haven't talked with Corey, but secondhand through that is particularly the lap swim
Yeah.
stuff, just in the mornings.
And honestly, the number of lap swimmers in our crew size at that point might be equal. Like I'm saying, there's maybe
1 to 1.
4
Well,
lap swimmers.
is it,
Yeah.
I mean, they posted something that they don't open until it's 60 degrees. So it's not gonna be 60
No.
degrees at 9 AM in
No,
September.
like-
You're gonna be lucky if it's like 60 degrees by noon.
I would probably, I would challenge you to go find pools that are staying open, outdoor pools in Montana are staying open after 30th.
And
think
be careful, because I got a list of them, and actually they're in Wyoming, so like Powell,
Yeah.
Wyoming, but that's not far away.
I think
mean,
there
like
might
Great-
be,
Great Falls pools are closed.
Billings
at
is closing
15.
early.
are they?
Staffing.
Yeah, I think, and I think for now, we're gonna go with that 30th, this is our operating thing, but.
I guess you
but
could play it by
subject to
ear,
change,
if
we
we
go-
have like, you know, it's still 80 degrees September 1st, you could maybe like extend it.
Yeah,
Give
but
you
then
a
it's the
bonus
next-
couple days or something, I don't know.
It can change in a day, that's.
It can, I know,
Yeah.
This summer's been pretty cool. We had very few days over 90 degrees, so
We
I
had
would
0.
I would expect our fall will be cold early. I will be very surprised.
Yeah.
I would be pleasantly surprised if it stays warmer.
At my weather station, we peaked at 88 for the year.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good info, I like
Okay.
that.
Anything else, Mike?
We haven't made any progress on a contract with Republic, and the last time I spoke with Ryan, he was gonna get a draft together, as a working draft, and get that to me, and he hasn't. I need to rattle the cage a little bit, and I haven't.
So, just
But I will.
a quick question, because we are entering into a new contract, and we're budgeting for that, for solid waste. Is our budget subject to change then, based on that?
No, because so we have on the agenda tonight that letter that says we're going with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
They have already put in place basically the same escalation rates as what we already have.
That's what was in the
And
proposal.
that's,
Okay,
that part is applied to the.
for at
the part
least
that
a
is-
year.
Well, that's
Or
for 5 or so.
Negotiating price.
Okay,
It's
okay.
what we're mainly talking about is performance clauses and.
Okay.
So things like, how are we gonna get trash cans that have been identified as non-functioning resolved?
Okay,
How are we gonna work, so.
yeah, perfect.
Basically, I think it's gonna be the same contract we had before with change dates and the new rates, and then some performance clauses at the end
Yeah.
about missed services, broken cans.
Mhm.
We may offer an opportunity for people to get a smaller can, but it'll be the same price. The only advantage would be
Lighter.
you don't have as big a can to manhandle around, like if you live in the golf course where they wheel them in and out.
Okay.
Those are the main points, I think, that we've identified.
So, and with our solid waste, and typically we do some type of, I don't know if we're going to do it this year or not, I guess we kind of want to talk about that. On the recycling, we did a presentation last year on the recycling center and where we're at budget-wise and stuff like that, and the cost. And I noticed, we found in admin and finance that there was a significant surplus in the recycling budget.
Did
for
you see
in
the
the
email
reserve.
that they came?
I did, but it's still, we still have like $153,000. And,
It's a good place for it.
okay, and well, and I just, and,
The baler goes south or a forklift goes south.
right, and we have like our expenses were estimated at like 80,000, and our revenue coming in is 143,000. So I guess, that's just a conversation we need to have, how much do we want to keep in reserve, versus when do we start, looking at the rates and stuff like that, or the services that we're offering, so.
Either lower rates or improve the services, so.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I did,
Well,
and that's,
I would, if it gets to that, I would say increase the public safety of our recycling would be that would be the
Yeah.
place where we would want to spend some money, because it is not a very safe place for public,
right.
right?
Well, I haven't been there in a long time, so I'm,
But, well, I
It
mean,
hasn't got any safer since you left.
well, and we talked about
Maybe a
possibly, looking at, doing like a drive-through type thing, so people aren't backing up and, possibly running over
And that
people.
would be where I would say,
Yeah.
before maybe that would fall under increasing our services,
Right,
but, I wouldn't,
Improving.
I wouldn't decrease rates
no, and,
with it the way it is, because it could stand improvement.
and I guess, and that's just a conversation we need to have, it's like we've always worked to have a reserve there because of, like you say, if any piece of equipment, something happens to it and we have to replace it or fix it, you're gonna need that extra money, but, at what point do we?
Seems like it's been later in the year that we do that, so.
It was, I don't
Actually, this
remember.
would be the committee that does it.
Yeah, I mean,
You're talking about what Chris did?
yeah,
That was quite a ways after budget time.
okay, it was right towards the end of the year, so, yeah,
In
So-
fact, she was working to get, we don't have to wait quite that long, but we
right.
can get budget.
And
done.
I guess that's when we need to talk about like future plans for the recycling center, to improve safety and stuff like that, and that's where it'd be great to get Mike's input on that and what we can do. 'cause we don't want people getting backed over and
No,
stuff.
no,
What is a non-conforming pricing option?
Well, there's two pricing options, if they were in the RFP, whatever the request for proposals. The one, that one is basically, and I don't know all the definitions of the words, that one's basically like a rate that increases at the same rate as, what do they call it, I don't know,
CPI?
something like that, cost, yeah.
They had two plans that they offered us. One that was predictable, and it actually saves us money, and then the other one,
The other one was not a good choice.
the other one was, yeah.
It was pretty, I mean, it was like, oh, why'd you even throw that out there?
That was a month ago that I had that conversation with Danae, but I'll see if I can refresh my memory for tonight.
Okay.
So, okay, is that all from the updates?
Yep.
Okay, so the next is the letter of continuance with Republic Services.
Jan was just on, so, yeah.
Yeah, so, our understanding is that it's just continuing the existing contract until we actually have a new contract to review, is that correct?
Yeah, there's details to follow, but the big pricing stuff
Okay,
is in line with what was proposed, which is a continuation of our existing.
okay. Okay, so, I think everybody good on that?
Mhm.
Okay, so I added this number 4 because Lonnie had it on the main agenda. Do you know what this is?
Yes, the solid waste, ordinance.
Solid waste 4-1 dash.
We don't have a number yet, that's why it says it's kind of,
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up.
but we're gonna go forward with it tonight. We thought it was ready to go and,
Oh, okay, so
with a
this,
couple changes, well,
so this is really Public Health and Safety is doing this?
Yeah.
Correct,
Mhm.
okay, because it was just under Public Works on the main agenda.
It's under both of them.
Under both of them, okay.
What,
So it's not anything new, this is what
No.
Sandy and you and, Patty have been working on,
Mhm.
okay, okay. So, do any of you have any input on that? Have you had a chance? I mean, we talked about it at our last city council meeting.
The only thing I would throw out, and it was kind of more of a reminder, and it'll probably be admin that takes it on, was the discussion about making sure people are right-sized on their garbage containers as a requirement. And there was a discussion about whether that should be part of this, and the discussion was, this isn't the spot to do it on the business registration, registration.
Yeah,
That it basically, one of those requirements, and so it'll be reviewed and true up annually, is you have to provide, if you need a 6-yard can, you need a 6-yard can, and so you can't say,
I just might
I have
to
a trash
tell
can.
you that a month ago, I asked for 2 pickups of my garbage because it was getting over full, because I was only having 1. And I asked for a Monday, Thursday pickup, and they changed it to Wednesday, Friday. Do you
Wow.
realize I had like 2 bags of garbage between Wednesday and Friday? And I've been working with them for over a month, calling them every week saying, stop it. Give me Monday, Friday, or give me Monday, Thursday, but do not pick up my garbage Wednesday and Friday.
yeah.
And they will not do it. And I've been paying now $450 a month instead of $250 a month for 2 pickups that I'm not even really getting. So it's very frustrating as a business owner to deal with Republic Services. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Even though you're trying to do the right thing, so you don't have you're not stuffing your garbage down, trying to lock it in your can. So, I mean, Tom's right. I don't know.
what happens if you say, because you're not doing that, I want a bigger can, but you don't get to charge me more? That's the rate you're gonna charge me, but your pickup schedule doesn't work for me.
I don't need a bigger can because I only need the 2 pickups
But
in the summer.
but if
I
they're
don't
not-
need a bigger can in the winter. I want it to go back down to $200 in the winter time.
You don't really get to dictate to them
Yeah,
anything,
No,
their way,
we have to take it on their terms, there's no negotiating.
no. And you can't even get the billings office anymore. When you call them, you talk to someone down in Arizona or something like that. And they're like, oh, we'll put the order in, and I'm just like, so I'm gonna call them now and tell them, just stop the 2 pickups and I'll just squash it down because
you're
I'm
doing-
not paying $400 and some dollars.
Is Wednesday, Friday they're doing?
Yeah,
Mm.
and the shack is closed Tuesday and Wednesday, and, you know, so there's no garbage. It's like,
I just go to one day.
go to one
and
again, and I'll just stuff it down in there,
Yeah.
and,
Get somebody to hop on it.
I know, yeah. Charles can jump up and down on it,
He'd
and,
be great at it.
you know. But I'm just saying, I mean, that's my frustration. I understand completely needing your garbage can locked because of bears and things like that, but, I mean, the restaurants run into the same issue. You know, you're not getting the service that you need from Republic to handle the garbage that we have in the summertime.
Now, as soon as you get outside the city limits, there's 2 or 3 different trash services.
Yeah,
Do those, are you telling me those trash services
Nope.
won't do commercial within the city?
nope, only Republic can.
Only can or will?
I think only
The
can.
public's got it pretty locked down. It's a controlled environment by
Yeah.
industry.
Mhm.
Tom called it
Bordering
a
on-
regulated monopoly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean anybody else couldn't do it within the city.
No, the guy
They-
who tried to do it, he tried to do dumpsters in the city, and they put a cease and desist order on him
Yeah.
through Public
It's their
Services. Yeah,
territory and you don't,
yeah,
nobody gets to come
they
in.
totally shut him down in the city limits of Red
Well,
Lodge.
there's an obligation, if you're gonna do that, that you have to be able to meet the needs. So if you're not meeting the needs, that can get opened up.
You're preaching to the choir right now.
I think if you can fix Republic, then you'll have an entire country supporting you, because it's not.
Not just us.
Well, but it's, if they're not letting other people in here, that's a
No,
problem.
no, they're not. Doug Mathis was bringing in dumpsters for construction and for businesses and for everything, and they nailed him. They're like cease and desist, and they were gonna sue him, and like, it was bad.
Well, I'm torn because this isn't a city negotiation.
It isn't, but the city's
but-
putting an ordinance in place that makes those businesses follow it.
Yeah,
And if we can't follow
I think
it,
that's all right,
But
but
not the provider.
like I said, there's somebody's legal attorney, when they put a cease and desist that says you're not meeting the needs, we'd love to have a judge tell us we need to be in there because you're not doing it.
It'd be nice if the business community could negotiate their garbage pickup the way the city does. If there was competition
right,
and we could get, I mean, I've paid as much as $1,200 a month for
yeah,
garbage pickup.
yeah, and you have a bigger dumpster, I just have a
It's come
two-yard
back down,
dumpster,
but there,
yeah.
you don't know from month to month what you're actually getting charged. There's
Right.
no contracts. It's
Yeah.
like, here's your bill.
Yeah, I think my, once a week was $256, and twice a week was 400 and some.
And when you go back to once, it may.
Who knows, yeah, who knows?
I'm not
It'll
saying
be
we won't look for an
56.
opportunity for appropriate,
And that's
to
just a
ask
little
questions.
2-yard dumpster, you know,
Mhm.
it's not even that big. So, yes, we can address that in the registration requirements. I'm just saying, I'm frustrated because it's just something more the business community has to follow, and I understand why we have to follow it, but sometimes it's very difficult to do so. Anyway, moving on, rant over.
well, and in fairness, part of that is they have to do things based on what our regulations are too. So they may have to up their game because we have a regulation that says that.
Well, and I told the gal, I said, look, I'm doing this because we have bears in town. In fact, we have grizzly bears that follow our creek, and it's an ordinance that we have to keep our dumpster locked. And my dumpster is overflowing now on this Friday, you know, because, and after,
On
it was
Wednesday.
actually, it was Monday after the car show.
Mhm.
The dumpster was stuffed full, and they missed the Monday, there was no Monday pickup. And I'm like, so I have to keep all of my garbage inside now until Wednesday, when you say that they're actually gonna come and pick it up, because they were supposed to be here Monday. So, you know, it's
Right.
and I pulled that card, I'm like, I'm gonna get a fine if I don't have my garbage locked. They don't care. They're empathetic, but they can't do anything, they're in Arizona. I'm like, they don't care, I'm like, you never talk to the people in billing, and that's who you need to talk to, is
And
the
this
people in
Ryan
billing.
fellow is our contact, but he's not for dumpsters, he's for garbage pickup.
Yeah, he's the municipal base
And I think that's why Tom was saying, when you're doing these negotiations with them, because you are actually talking to someone from Billings, and because the city is contracting with Republic, that's why the businesses have to contract with Republic. If someone else had the municipality contract, like McKenzie River, then we'd have to contract with McKenzie River.
That's probably something that's in our contract, it may not have to be. I haven't looked at the old one, but that, I mean, if that's true, it'd have to be in our contract, right?
No, I don't know that it is, but I don't know if it's a utility service area or something.
Yeah,
But we can look, if it's in our contract, we can make sure we break it so it's not there.
I don't know that it's in
We're-
your contract. I
I don't think
think
it
Mike's
is.
right. I think it's because when they get a service area, no other
That was me who
person.
said that. He said he thought it was in our contract.
Oh, okay,
It's in the contract.
We'll find, if there's something we
Okay.
can do about it, we'll do about it.
okay,
But we'll definitely look at our contract.
right. And
Before we
that's,
re-sign it,
I mean,
you guys
there
approve.
are a lot of people that would love to get into Red Lodge, especially with construction dumpsters and stuff like that, you know, that, like Doug Mathis, he had,
I've seen those, two tough guys, I think I've seen their dumpsters in town.
I have, over by the Dave Evans' house over by the park.
well, if it's an independent contractor and they have their own dumpster, that's different. But if you're, if you're, you know, calling in for a dumpster, because when we cleaned out my mother-in-law's house, they wanted a dumpster. And I called Doug, and he's like, no, I can't bring a dumpster into Red Lodge. And then, of course, Republic, the smallest they would give you was like a 12-yard one, and I'm like, $1,200.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need that much.
I tried calling one too, and I was like, whoa.
I can have a conversation with our legislatures and see if there's anything, because that would be where that's being dictated.
It is, yeah, I think it's a Montana law type thing too, but do check our contract too, because it would be nice to
How many-
have other
How many
options.
stars Republic Service has?
1.7
1.7
stars.
for Republic.
There it is, great. Okay, so any more discussion on that solid waste ordinance? Okay, okay. Parks and Sustainability Board update.
Well, I was in Florida, so I wasn't there. I went to listen to the minutes, and it said it was edited, and I was hoping I didn't miss a fight that broke out, and they edited it.
No, you did not, no. It was a really good meeting. I watched it, and then I called the mayor. I was like, yeah, you need to pull this now.
And then she,
We were
She made
briefly
me
in
go
the corn
through it.
distribution business.
Yeah, and it got, somebody was online, and when you talk online, and it's a, you know, on a YouTube, whoever's talking has the screen, and they were posting, like, XXX hardcore porn, and it was like multiple screens of it, and we were all like, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know that was
So
possible.
if you saw the meeting set up, that's part of why I've joined with the second computer, and it is pinned on the chamber. So what happened could still happen, but it would be limited to that little square up on top.
Is that what you were talking about this morning, about the okay?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this was, and
Yeah.
so what happened is we pulled that meeting, and there's an edited version going up, and the other's still available. We're maintaining it for our records just for
Okay.
sunshine laws. If somebody wants sunshine right there, I guess they can have it, but.
I know. Well, the thing was, I mean, if it wouldn't have shown up on the whole screen and it stayed just the little one, you wouldn't see it when you were watching it online, but it takes over your whole screen.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And it's on YouTube, and like the mayor says, you know, we could lose our channel
Yeah.
for posting pornography on YouTube, so.
Okay.
At first, they were told to not edit it and post it, but they didn't understand how bad it
The
was.
severity of the situation.
Yeah.
So I haven't listened to it, I will now, but I don't have anything to report. I guess you were there, I don't know.
Yeah, they are working on it, and also land use is working on it. Kind of, they were talking about the in-works projects and getting a flow chart done. The other thing that also came out of that discussion is we have, put it in front of our planning team as well. We're looking at doing a parks master plan update. We were hoping it was gonna be like maybe 10 to 15,000, and it came back as 25,000 to do it. I think it's still something, particularly when you look at Lions Park, so it's kind of a full master parks plan that we haven't updated since 2015, was it 15 that was
It's
in
been a
there?
while.
That we've got a version, but we've got Lions Park and coal miners that we just kind of need to have. We're either we're gonna have our planners do that, or Cinta and AI are gonna go through and build it, so.
So are we also going to, look at what we're going to do then with, you
I
know,
need to go add
Uncle
that.
Milty's Park?
Oh, yeah. Melting.
When you say, are we gonna look at it? would
I mean,
be
is that going to
included
be
in
part of the
conversation?
parks master plan and what
It
we're
would
gonna
be,
do with
because that's
that?
the heart.
Yeah, I know, I mean, because I think
Include it.
we've told people that we would have like public meetings and stuff like that on ideas of what
For
we
now,
could
it's
do.
gonna be just hydroseeded and flat, and it'll
Okay.
be at a condition that if it stays that way for the next 10 years, it won't be the end of the world.
Okay, so that could be something that could be incorporated in that, like future plans for that, okay. All right. Anything else on that, parks and sustainability? Okay. Review priority projects and timelines of the committee. Like I said, the only thing that I was thinking of coming up before the end of the year would be to do some type of recycling update and, report to council. It sounds like right now, financially, it's great. I mean, we're in the green, not the red, which is always a bonus, so.
Mm-hmm.
But I know they like to get the numbers on how much of different things pounds for recycling and keeping out of the landfill. Have you
And
been
this
getting
year
any
is
of those
a little
numbers?
different than it was last year with glass and cardboard and stuff. There's a couple of things that there's some changing elements of, so.
I know, and I think it would just be good to get those updates to council, and,
Mm-hmm.
have you been able to keep track of, like, how many pounds of, like, cardboard?
I haven't tallied it up for a while.
Okay, but they do give you those numbers, so,
I usually have to go dig them all out from, call different places and find,
okay,
put everything together.
okay.
But, yeah, well, probably, I would say, the last time I did it, in terms of, like, total tonnages and stuff, I did it for the year, like, from January through December 31.
Yeah,
So I'd probably do it the same,
okay,
and so I'd do that.
Be like a January.
Yeah, and, you know,
and I guess, people would be interested in also, like, are we recycling more or less than we have in the past?
it probably should be easy to, I think everybody saw that table I put together.
Yeah,
23.
okay,
Didn't do one for 24, I don't think. But I could.
Okay.
And that would just tell you right there, that you could look at
yeah,
tons, how many pounds of glass, cardboard, whatever.
okay.
Um,
Number of visits and stuff like that, and, is there anything else that anyone can think of that
I
we
don't know,
want
I
to
would
put in
just,
there?
I would get Kyle to come by and get some figures from him, and, he's the only one there that's, boots on the ground, as they say, so he could fill you in on how things are
know.
going, and,
Well, and now that we're not contracting with, Beartooth Industries, is that helping our budget out as well? Or has Kyle kind of taken on more hours because they're not
I'm
there?
sure he's working a lot more, but or has to, but,
Okay, as long as
um,
he's getting paid for it.
Mhm.
Like, that's all.
Yep.
So, okay. All right, anything else for future projects or things you want us to address? Don't we have
I
the,
mean, I feel like if the committee wanted to look into some things like that are public works, I would
yeah,
encourage you to look at the things that really matter, like stormwater, where we're at with that.
yeah, okay,
And where we're at with sewer capacity with all this growth, and
yeah,
thinking about expansion of our capacity, because at some point we're gonna have to do that. I mean, I feel like recycling's pretty low on the totem pole in terms
Okay.
of important things that Public Works does.
oh, I agree, 100%. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you,
And I'm not discounting it at all.
no, but I mean, I think that's great. I think council would be very
Don't spend the
interested.
energy on the 1%. when-
Right, no,
Yeah,
I
mean,
agree.
We have a real issue with stormwater in that it impacts our sewer capacity, which is probably our limiting factor as a community.
I know, and I would,
That's like the big thing.
And Mike and I were having conversations about national prayer lines at 10 o'clock at night after that event. I mean, it was literally.
it was, I know that was a lot of
I
rain.
said, get on your knees and pray.
I know,
Hope bumps keep up, that's all we got right
I know. Well, I mean, we've
And
had those,
we do have backups on the shelf, right? If
We
one
have
goes-
one backup on the shelf.
we have one.
so, I mean,
But in those conditions,
No, but just if it dies.
we can't change it.
Okay.
no. Well, see, in 2011, when we had, it hailed for an hour. And, I mean, and
was
hail
big.
was backing up into people's toilets because the stormwater system, the sewer system could not handle it because we didn't have a stormwater system. So I was hoping that it would have handled it a little better than that,
I
but,
mean, part of, the main purpose of phase one, you gotta remember, and I guess this is why, if you guys wanna dive into something,
yeah,
you know, that was, the big part of that project was getting, I would call it like the backbone of the system in.
okay,
With phase one, we didn't really pull anything out of, that was going into the sewer, maybe a few, but we were building a place for it to go because you need-
Okay.
that's a 54-inch diameter pipe down there.
right, it's big,
To handle all the water, and that was, so that had to come first.
right,
And really, phase 2 and 3 picked up some. I would say phase 4, like, we can get up where I think we're gonna end up pointing what the new PER would be, like Adams, those are all storm drains that are tied to sewer. So we're gonna probably see a lot of improvement there, but we couldn't go do those first, 'cause we'd have nowhere to put them,
right,
right? Everybody, that makes
Mhm.
sense, right?
yeah. Was it's the same on Platte, on like South Platte? Is it kind of that whole area, or did you get South Platte in with,
No, I think
Platte and
most
Hagen
of our
then.
water is coming, like, based on that last event, it's coming from, like, up there, Adams, above, like, I'm gonna say, like, above 14th, or, 14th and higher, Grant, but then Adams is kind of a main collector, because a lot of that water slides off the hill,
mhm,
and doesn't, that's where it gets captured, is Adams.
And part of what you're asking is gonna be best answered by the PER, which is why we're doing that.
okay,
Well,
Yeah.
and then we want the PER to point at what we think the problem is, because that's what, you know, and that's why we want to get our homework done good, so that our PER, if our PER is good, then we're not getting ready to go to a project and go, oh, I just realized that we got a really bad problem over here, and then people are saying, well, let's fix that. Well, we can't, the process, if we go for grant money, doesn't really allow us to shift gears on the fly like that.
right. So we have, phase 1 was done last year, phase 2 and 3 are done this year, correct?
They were done last year,
2 and 3?
Yeah, one
Okay.
was done the year before.
23.
Okay,
That was down just on the Hagen.
okay,
And so we did 2 and 3 last year.
okay. And then phase 4, will that complete everything? Is that, no? That,
We're gonna be working on storm, I mean, all these systems are never complete, water, sewer, stormwater. I
okay,
mean, I would say that probably, if we get to 5, we're gonna be sitting pretty good. Will there be room for more improvement, more growth of it? Yeah,
okay,
you know, I mean, we have some pretty significant stormwater issues up on the bench, that cause problems, in particular at Cole and, Lobo Court, which I think it was just poorly it was designed wrong, built wrong, and been wrong, but unfortunately, fixing it now is not an easy fix, and it's a real problem.
Mike, will you make a note on somewhere that on the 28th, which is 2 weeks from tomorrow, Wednesday night, to set your schedule up to come to planning board?
Planning board?
so as far as
Never been
sewer,
to that one.
I can give you more updates. There's a conditional use permit coming up, and stormwater is one of the topics of discussion there. And I can give you some fill-in, or Brian can give you some fill-in it too, if you can talk to him sooner, so.
So as far as capacity goes right now, it sounds like we may be limited on new growth in the
I
sewer.
don't think we're limited at the moment,
Okay,
but I don't think that we start talking about it when we hit that moment.
The
Right.
numbers they're telling us is that we can handle sewer for 5,000
okay. Well, and I mean,
before we
and,
run into the
and
leaks. But
that's-
having said that, I saw the lift station at the last rainstorm, and I'm glad there wasn't 5,000 people in it at that time.
You
Well,
know,
they-
and it's really hard to wrap your head around, because like, you know, when I got here, we're like, you know, Brian was, oh, we're good on the golf course and Spires to build out. Okay, but then like, we just got a lot on Silver Circle, they wanna build on.
mhm,
Well, they wanna put 20 apartments on it.
yeah,
Was that factored in? You know, like the 28 townhomes going down here, was that when they did this and they said, okay, we can build out, was that like 2 services and not 20? And we're seeing more and more of that.
Well, I think it was based on that 5,000 number, so it's, you know, I mean, you can't do it all in one
I
spot.
did have Great West kind of do a rough look at our capacity, and I think you got a copy of that, like a page and a half memo. In the next wastewater PER, we are including an actual capacity study in there
okay.
that'll give us hopefully something, because even that memo is a little,
Well,
it's not,
Cover the base.
the reason why,
and I kind of want what you want, an
Yeah.
actual number. So you can say, okay, we're at 4,200, we have 800 to go. In the real world, the math doesn't ever work that way.
No.
And a lot of
but-
that is our stormwater that's coming in. When you
Right.
look in, when you look in your wastewater system and you can see through the water, you're getting stormwater in.
right, yeah, definitely. I mean, and that's why we pushed really hard for the 1% of the resort tax to go for stormwater, because we had no funding really available at all until we did that. And that was supposed to be for match funds and to help, you know, fund it, but,
And it's the best way for Red Lodge to increase sewer capacity is get the stormwater out.
Yeah.
yeah. Otherwise, you're looking at an upgrade of the system, and that's really expensive, isn't it?
And we are still looking at an upgrade of the system someday.
Yeah.
The question is, are we talking 5, 10, 20?
I know, and I think we were hoping that with getting the stormwater out of it, that would buy us some time before the state came in and said, now you've gotta do this.
We absolutely are hoping that. That's what
Okay.
we're working on, and that's the
And I-
working
and I think-
West Yellowstone's putting in a new plant right now, 26 million,
Wow.
so we don't wanna do that.
No, and I mean, I think
Their
council,
plant's a little different, I mean, they're also West Yellowstone, so.
so when you get those capacity numbers and stuff like that, I mean, I think that is all stuff that council, that we can help work on that and relay that to council, because it's very important. And it's very important for planning board to be aware of that too, and the building department to know where we're at, because, I mean, we're trying to get people to build more apartments and things like that, and then and all of a sudden they can't because we don't have the capacity. That's a big problem.
Or they can't because we're having requirements that they, in essence, handle all of their stormwater, and then it's no longer priced to meet the need
Yeah.
that they're trying to meet.
How can they handle all their stormwater?
I think that's a DEQ rule.
Well, no, a lot of it's in our zoning, like but at what point do we tell people, you know, if I have my house, I'm allowed to use the public storm, but if I put in a duplex, I'm no longer allowed to use the public storm system I have to capture it all off, and
Yeah.
So
there's a
how does
couple of
that
interesting
work,
conversations.
as we're inching closer to our project, big flat roof in the downtown district, no place to capture it,
Yeah, that's
So a
what,
lot of,
so what do we do?
like, you know, a lot of the businesses, well, like in the Pollard, they just chuck it in the alley, the alleys have been beat, you know, valley.
It ends up in our stormwater
It goes
system.
to stormwater.
But will that be allowed on a new project?
Come to the meeting in 2 weeks, we'll have that conversation.
And I do think that there's something with it, the DEQ has some say in there.
I don't think DEQ is a limitation, I think that's our conditional use permit right now that's causing the issues and problems, so.
Because if we can't capture as required, then we just leave it an empty lot.
Well, that's
Well,
just
that's
it.
actually
Like what they're doing,
less
what they
opportunity.
did at, down at Rock Creek, and what they're doing at the town homes on, up there at Circle 17, is they're putting in those chambers. Like, there's one in the parking lot just south of you, where they're tearing that building down, there's a
Mhm.
chamber under that. Ace has a chamber. Like a big chamber in the ground that then percolates into the ground, stores it.
And it's like the 100-year,
And they fail over time, they get full of sediment, and quit taking water. But I think that's, to answer your question, that's where people go now.
If it's a newer build.
What's
If
that?
it's a newer build, like Ace Hardware was a newer build, I mean, it's probably 30 years old now, but it seemed new at the time.
But if you're gonna cover the entire lot in order to get the apartments
Right.
and the commercial space in and parking.
if you go in and tell them you can't cover the whole lot, you can only cover 50%, because 50% has to be a collection pond,
And you just leave it empty.
then
Yeah.
they
Cheaper
would
to leave
Yeah,
it.
no, I agree. No, I don't want this to stop growth of, so.
And the one good thing is, like, for where we have put in the system, it's supersized. So,
And that's where,
we have, in the stormwater system that we have, 1, 2, and 3, we have tons of capacity in that, so. that's
It's
a
just
good-
bringing everything else into it, is
Yeah.
that,
And then if we build all that capacity, why don't we let people use it? You have to have overflow to cover
Yeah.
when it gets
Yeah.
really high, but
well, I watched,
pick up
storm
80%
drain
of it.
next to my garage, across from Ace. And put that new storm drain in last fall. And it had 10 inches of water right there at that storm drain, but it was taking it.
in there.
No, it was, it was a whirlpool, and you could see the water it was taking all the water as it was coming down, but the water was,
You could see it inside, you could see the water level,
yeah.
you know.
The center was hollow, and the water was going in. But it was pretty impressive how much water was coming down the streets.
Madam Chairman?
okay, yes, okay. And also, one last thing, do we need to start looking at your impact fees, or is,
No, that's on my to-do list.
okay, just keep us informed when you need
So
some help
the
with that.
answer is yes, but
Okay.
we're enlisting
Okay.
an impact fee study.
And do let us know whatever we can do to help with the stormwater,
Sure.
because that is a
Well,
huge,
on that note,
I'm not getting you, ma'am.
are you,
I would just dive into it, and if the more you guys are educated about it, the better decisions we'll all make, and
well, my education starts with a tour. You just mentioned a lift station.
lift.
A lift.
Lift.
Where's the lift station? I don't know what that is.
We have one in Spires, we have one at 212, and then there's another one that, I don't know who actually owns it, but we service that sewer, and that comes out of the commercial, like up where Pepsi is. And
Mike, have you done any of the spring to sewer water tours yet? Have you given any of those? We used to have all the council members.
We did one for some kids a while back.
I'm on that level.
Well, in fairness, well, no, maybe not. I said the kids are much more entertained when they,
No, we could do that.
Yeah, 'cause I remember when I first came on council, we did it, a group of us went around and showed us all the lifting stations and how it fit in,
Sure.
the wells or the,
That would be very helpful, maybe in
And-
September when things aren't quite as,
No, we could do
it
that.
did, it gave a good visual for me to understand.
we should reach out and include Jeremy in that conversation too,
Yeah,
since the results of the election are a foregone conclusion at this point in time.
yeah. But I think it's very important for council to understand that just because we've got phase 1, 2, and 3 done, that our stormwater woes are not fixed. That we are not in the green and good to go, so. Okay, I guess, we will, any more public comment or anything like that, or any more, then we will do it online. Okay. No interruptions of the meeting today, we will call it, thank you. See you all at 6 o'clock.
did you, get my text?
Yeah, I did.
And if-